What's the biggest mistake that parents seem to make when they enter this back-to-school period with their kids?
So there's all this stress and anxiety right around this time of year.
Yeah.
And parents experience this slingshot effect where they go from being the fun, laid back, unstructured summertime parents to being this hardcore bedtime and homework police thing. And it's off-putting and it's jarring to kids, and it breaks this relationship at a time when kids are stressed out and they need it most.
Yeah, that's really interesting, is they do need that in that moment.
Yeah.
So what's the best way to communicate with your kids about this whole how they're feeling thing? Because sometimes you can ask your kid how they are, and then they give you those quick one-word answers. You know how that whole thing goes.
Yeah. So a lot of parents are hard on themselves for not getting their kids to talk in these long discussions.
Yeah.
Kids work in sound bites these days. They're only going to give you moments. If you get the long discussion, take it, but take the sound bite too. Just recognize the time of day when your kid is open to that. So usually it's like right before bed, first thing in the morning, when they're a captive audience in the car, but don't make it a lecture. The minute you're lecturing at your kid, they check out. Exactly.
That's a great point. So this is a stressful time for both the parents and the kids. So what tips do you give to the parents as their kids are going back to school?
You're right. So you need clarity, structure, and consistency at the important times of day. First is the morning, right?
Yeah.
So what time are you going to get up? What time is
Routine.
Lunch is made, bag is packed, you're ready to go. What time are you leaving home? Then you've eliminated a whole set of arguments and stress right there. Then you manage the after-school time. When are you doing your homework? When are we going to eat? When are you going to bed? When is that all going to be done? Clear structure, consistency, and then finally, the biggest argument I see the kids have with their parents has to do with screen time. So if you decide today, here's the max screen time, max, no matter what the screen is.
How do you gauge that? I mean, those are three Gary things. If we could pop those back up on the screen just to really drive those home, establish that routine, the bedtimes. I want to focus on 2 and 3 right here, starting with, let's start with 2. How important is setting a proper bedtime, and what is a proper bedtime? How much sleep should we be making sure our children get, or is there such a thing as too much?
Yeah, so there's not, at early ages, not much of a thing as too much. Most conventional wisdom says your kid needs between 8 and 10.
I'm trying to give him 8 hours.
8 hours is good. 9 is better, but not many people can do it realistically. If I get 8 out of a family, I usually am pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So talking about screen time. Because the screen time is a thing, and we've had several specialists come in here talking about the dangers of you know, the predators out there. That's not your focus today.
Right.
It's simply about how much time we spend on it. What is the right time to say, all right, you can go play whichever one of those dang games that you want to?
Yep. So the maximum screen time that's safe, in other words, that keeps your kid away from depression, anxiety, attention problems, is 2 hours. If you can squeeze that down to 1 hour a night, no matter what the screen is, you've won the battle.
So how do you suggest using it? Because Fortnite's the game of choice for my 11-year-old.
Yes.
I have handled it where once you get the homework done, that can be your reward before bed. Much like you eat your dinner, Fortnite is your dessert. Is that the good way to treat her, or should she let them do it when they get home at first?
My strong bias is get the work done early, keep the Fortnite for right before bed. And if you can have a half an hour before bed where there's no screen, that keeps some of that agitation away. Your kids can actually fall asleep.
Yeah, which is always the win.
Yeah.
Also, how about getting them to run outside for a little bit?
A little bit of outside time wouldn't be bad.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here,
Thanks
Doc.
for having me.
Always great stuff. Dr. Duffy, make sure you check him out for more information and tips. All you got to do is go to drjohnduffy.com. The podcast is better.